Hello, everyone. This is Jimmy Cultist, back with a unexpected return to the turn-based combat format. And I'm going to talk about a few preliminary changes before we get into the meat of our video, which is how to make random enemies appear. I've already covered, technically, how to make random patterns of enemies, like 1, 2, less or more appear, but today I want to talk about different types of enemies appearing with different types of attacks. But first thing I want to get to is I've changed some stuff in the overworld and some stuff in combat that I'm going to go over real quick. First of all, I've added a trigger zone set to tag labeled destroy, connected to a destroyer. That's about how big I made the zone. It's for when you encounter the player. After the player wins, I just wanted to get rid of a little fellow in the overworld. So I went into this timeline within the transition chip, mounted on this. And by the way, I've labeled them end and transition. They weren't labeled before, which I think was a little sloppy. And I've set this little... that's our start one, so it wouldn't be in there. It would be in our end one. Destroy, as you can see. After that chip plays, he'll disappear at the end of combat. But that's just something real quick that I rigged up. Another thing I did is I put the keyframes that control these text displayers outside the microchip that controls the logic. As you can see here, that controls these logical ports or cameras. But all I did was take it out and delete all the wires running to the logic and left the wires running to the text display as active. And the reason why I did this is because I want to be able to display what you're targeting even if there's nothing there. Previously you couldn't do that, and it was a little confusing because you'd be scrolling through things and you wouldn't know how far you were through them, and then you'd get to the right one and it would be highlighted. But now you can actually see what you're scrolling through. And I put them in a separate little microchip. Potentially you could have more targeting positions if you wanted to, like you could have 4 or 5, as long as you know what you're doing. Anyway, I think those are the only major changes. Oh, wait a minute. Looping fights. Someone was asking how to loop fights. And to be honest, the only reason why you couldn't loop fights was because of a simple oversight on my part. Since all the characters are, what is the word? All their attacks are on a timeline. And what was happening was I set the timeline to sustain, so when their attacks were shut off, they were just stopping there and not completing, and then when you turned it on again, they were doing the same thing. And they weren't reaching the tag that resets your ability to attack. So basically, a simple fix is just set your attack timeline to play once, and then the fight will loop. Because everything else I did was logically consistent. It's just that part was the part that was messed up. So hopefully that solves your problem if you're not getting your fight to loop. Now let's go ahead and make our new enemy, which should be fairly easy since we have a template here. Also, I'm going to give him a different type of attack because I want to cover how to attack multiple enemies at once. And we're going to take away his weapon. He's probably going to work a little different. I also want to make him big. Can you blame me for wanting to have a large enemy, every once in a while? Okay, let's take a look at this, see if there's anything we need to modify in here. No, that should remain about the same. I think we can leave the health the same. There's some things I'm going to do for the sake of practicality. We will have to animate a new death animation. I'm pretty sure. Or will we? This might just work. Well, it's a little weird, but, you know, to save time, I think we'll go with it. That works for me. And his attack won't really be changed significantly, except this time he's not going to be following the player, as it were. This is going to be a complete total attack on the whole party, as it were. We're going to want it nice and big, because no matter what position he appears in, I want him to damage all the players. And I think I'm going to set it to 10. It's going to be a slightly stronger attack. And we're going to have to change his attack animation to something a bit more... I think I'm going to make it like a ground pound kind of thing. Like he's slamming the ground. Let's see how it looks. I don't expect it to look very good. And we might be able to move this back since he won't be doing like a big... and make it a little longer. I feel like we could like kind of see what this looks like. It's terrible, to be honest. There's no vigor to it whatsoever. Yeah, there's really got to be like he's slamming. It's a little better, still pretty lame. I think what I'll do is I'll lower him a bit. I know this isn't really important, but it's just bad animations. They bug me kind of to some extent. It's a little better. Another thing we could do is if we raise him up higher around here. That might give him more of a... Yeah, that's a little better. Okay, I think this is our reset timeline here. Oh, that's our return timeline. Nothing on that we'll be needing. Now, I don't know if this is going to fiddle with the normal order of things, because there's kind of like a time for... There's a time where you have to, like, reset the fight. But I'm hoping that that won't really be necessary. And we'll just omit him. But here's the randomizer for random enemy patterns. This one is one person, and this one is two people. I think I'm going to go ahead and put him on this timeline, which, not really anything important, just set it to play once, lifetime, basically eternal. And we'll label this big guy. Hopefully this doesn't mess anything up, just to have him definitely admitted in the fight with no other changes. It doesn't look like there needs to be any others, but I may be misremembering. It's been a long time since we've covered this subject. Also, let's make sure that our singular... Yes, he's on a different... Alright. Showtime, then. What's this? What was that? Oh well, I guess we'll never know. Not the right pattern. Let's get the right pattern. It's random, so... He shouldn't be appearing over there. We may need to test this specifically, because I don't know exactly what's going on with our little friend, why he's doing that. See, that's weird. I think it's because he's off the ground, maybe. It seems kind of odd, though. Let's take a look at his logic. Could be that his collision is just a little messed up. Yeah, it was his collision. Alright, let's encounter. We'll see if he attacks normally. Oh, that's not him. You know, second thought, since we are going to be testing this, we might as well briefly make the randomizer not random, because I'm getting a little sick of its shenanigans. I want to have him come out so I can test him on a regular basis. So we're just going to add a node and let that be that. Alright, let's go ahead and attack him. Might as well. Everything seems to be working normally. I might up the damage on the Gatling gun. That's pretty pathetic. He didn't even attack. I think I remember why that is. I think. It could be that our patterns are wrong. Yeah, this isn't turned on. Yeah, I think it's because I put them in the wrong order. Sometime let's put together a non-linear attack system. That way, even if one of these isn't operable, he can still attack. That would be pretty cool. But for now, we'll just put it in order, put him in the second slot so that it works better. Here we go again. There's no way that a sword does more damage than a Gatling gun. Might put the health bar higher up. It's kind of hugging his back a little too much. I certainly hope this will fix the issue, though. I'd like to see this fellow do his attack. Yes, hit everybody. And of course the fight's looping again. Holmes might as well just use a grenade on this situation. Ah, we seem to be having an issue with our dear friend. Oh, she's targeting. That's what's wrong. Her targeting wasn't right. I was worried that we might have a problem, but no, we do not. You can switch the targeting with, you know, right and left arrows. But that's how you emit different enemies. Make sure to emit them in the right order, I guess. Of course, you may not have to do that for much longer, because I want to change it. But yeah, that's pretty much how that works. I don't think I really need to demonstrate that this fellow dies in the overworld. Just take my word for it. He does if you finish the fight. Another thing we're going to have to work on is giving XP to individual players, like which one gets which. The current system is flawed, so I'm going to try to improve that. But this should do it for today. Hopefully anybody who's putting together a turn-based game could find this video illuminating and helpful. And before we leave, let's just pull this health bar up a little higher. Thanks for watching. If you have any thoughts, leave a comment. And if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. If you would like to support us financially, consider clicking the join button to become a member and unlock perks. You can also leave a super thanks in the comments, which we would appreciate, or a one-time donation on Ko-fi, link in the description. That's all for now. Goodbye.